I hope we're all doing this well. January, Sunday the 18th, the morning after the night before, after a famous win against the enemy, against the Derby, the Manchester Derby, which is always an interesting thing. So look, great win yesterday, and I definitely think we should still be enjoying it today. Really, what a fantastic win yesterday. Some really good stuff played well yesterday. We can get in our opinions on that this morning, so please get in your views and opinions on the game yesterday. I've seen a load of stuff today that I think this morning is worth having a chat about, because you get the toxic positivity. Hopefully I'm not going to pronounce your name wrong, Karasputri. I'm so sorry. Hi, Indonesia, watching from the Far East. Hello, my friend, and welcome. You are doing extremely well. I live in Essex. So yeah, I live in the southeast. Great morning to you, JB. How are you doing? Sky, legend of the chat, and absolute legend, and also Sky, legend of the chat. Yeah, I hope you're all doing extremely well. And Sky, I've just upgraded you to a moderator as well, if that's all right. Fresh says, morning mate, sure, well class. You can look, you can have your opinion on that. That's not far from me. Southeast is where it's at. Yeah, I'm Essex, southeast of England. So yeah. Yeah, so that Sky, look, if you don't want to do it, Sky, just say no, and I can rescind it. But look, Sky, if you're happy, Sky, then I'm happy too. London Chelsea base camp. No, yeah, no, I'm southeast Essex, towards kind of like towards the coast. Thank you. Can't promise that. Look, Sky, just because you're a mod, it's not an obligation to be here. It just means, look, you contribute a lot to the show. So look, I think it's it's well earned. Sky, you're not being here long, but look, Sky, you contribute, and you don't need to be here every single stream. It's just a case of as many trusted people as I can have on here, the better. Nikarutsu, morning, JB, you handsome devil. Look, Nikarutsu, you are too kind to me as always. But look, a legend of this chat. So the first thing to say is, look, get into this amazing community. Look, we've got some amazing people. The moderators are fantastic. Just amazing people, amazing people. So look, get into this chat, be respectful to the moderators, be respectful to the community. I am blushing, I am. Be respectful to the community, be respectful to the moderators, be respectful to yourselves. YouTube is asking for ID to comment in the chat. Is that common? I've never been asked for ID, but are you over 18? I don't know. Don't know, my friend. Yeah, so look, be respectful, otherwise the ban hammer comes out. Some kids got really close to my wing mirror there for some reason. That's really weird. So we don't want the banter. Absolutely got no issue with the banter at all. Get in there. Look, I think he means for adult rated videos. Probably. I mean, this is probably we have to give ID to comment in chat now. But mate, that's nothing to do with me. That is YouTube's new thing. I don't know, my friend. I've never experienced it because I'm above 18, and obviously YouTube have all my stuff anyway, so they basically know that I'm an old man, so it's fine. Also, I'm not a dictator of the chat. I really do read out your comments. This is why these shows take so long. So look, get in there with your chat and I will read them out. So what I really want to know today, I like English accent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Today is a great day. Got a promotion for nothing. What could be better? Debasi says, "Hey bud, you seen Haaland? He's been missing along skulls and bat. Come on." You know, it says Phoenix give Carrick the contract since he understands the system. Look, Cesar, and again, these are the comments that I want to hear this morning. I want to hear what you think. You know, it's interesting to me how we play one game. We play one game, a derby. You know, we win it. Amarin won this fixture. Ollie won this fixture. You know, we play one game in a derby that's, you know, a derby game. I'm not underestimating it. I'm not over egging the pudding. I want to know your opinions on this. Look, I'm not playing it up. I'm not playing it down. It's interesting to me now after one game. And this is where I wanted to go this morning with it. You know, the positivity spin this morning is absolutely ridiculous. Look, the praise of the performance has to be there. The praise of the players' performances has to be there. The praise of the coach has to be there as well. But it has to be given the context. At this moment in time, on my thought process would be nowhere near giving Carrick a contract. Now, have we not learnt? You know, in my view, if you look at the Ollie situation, if you look at all of these coaches right now, I would not be even thinking about a contract for anybody. I'd be conducting the manager search still. You know, I get Carrick understands these players, but yesterday was the epitome of these players. Yesterday was the epitome of what you saw with these players. And for me, more than ever, look, I love the game. I'm not going to really go too much in on these players, but what you saw yesterday wasn't new football, wasn't a new era, wasn't a new ushered era in. It was triangles. It was simplistic, going back to basic football. Nobody invented the wheel. Carrick didn't come in and reinvent the wheel. He got these players playing because what he was talking about, and if you go back to the presser, he's talking about confidence. He's talking about getting these players to play the system. And look, his system is basically basic football. Is that the way forward? Possibly. I've got no, but look, if it's simplistic football and it's winning, fine. I've got no issue. But I think after one game, and my question is where do we go from here? My question is where do we go from here? You know, after one game, are we seriously saying after one game that Carrick is the guy? Have these players turned the corner? Are these players now the next big thing? You know, what I don't get, other than the context of the game, and we can still be positive about the game. My question here to this morning is what is next? What is next? What does this mean? Does this win mean that we push forward? Does this win mean that there is a new dawn ushered? Why is this win different to the Liverpool win? Why is this win different to the Arsenal game? Okay, we lost, but the performance in that was fantastic. What's the difference? And let me get in there. I think it's if YouTube videos are, yeah. Aras says, "Love you, thanks, buddy. I'm the dictator." Hello, bro. I comment says, "Hello, bro. Good morning. I love your. Good morning. I love your lips." Thanks, buddy. Southern accent is way better than Northern. Oh, lad. I'm awful. I'm sat in A&E with a broken hand because I punched a Theodore, I can't even, mate. That's hilarious. Do you think we will make a comeback and get into the Champions League? And you know, these are the questions that I want to know this morning as well, right? Yeah. Other channels and everybody else is gonna be jumping on the. I could have done a headline this morning or some sort of thumbnail this morning saying top four's on, we're back, top four's on. I'm refusing to do it. Refusing to do it now. I'm not because I'm stubborn, not because mathematically we can't do it. It's there. It is there. The problem is I don't trust these players. I don't trust these players. I simply do not trust these players yet. Mathematically, is it possible? Of course it is there. It is absolutely there for the taking. However, we've managed to do it, this league this season, and people will say, yeah, the funny thing here for me on this top four thing is this: people who are hammering out wanted him out. He's awful, right? We're halfway through a season, but there are two parts to this. People are saying that we're in the top four, so we must be doing well. But then at the same time, the same people were saying that Amrin was doing bad and they wanted Amrin out. Well, Amrin has got us halfway through a season and still in the hunt for top four, top five. I still do not prescribe to that until we come out of these next 5 games. I don't prescribe to top four just yet. But there's this bending of the truth to suit whoever's needs it is. So I'll give you an example. So there's a thing whereby Amrin is awful. Amrin was out. His football was crap. However, he's got us into a position halfway through a season, despite the players, despite the lack of people that was needed to play his system, he still managed to get into a top 4 race. But yet he's had to go and it's his fault. So the platform is there. But yet the same people now, oh, we can get in, we can finish in the top 4 or 5. We can do it. But are you telling me, and again, if you've trusted these players all season, then that's fine. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. One game doesn't make a season. Who's to say that? Look, if you look at the first game of the season, that Arsenal game, who would have thought after the way we played in that game, the rest of the season would have preceded that? And just because we've got positivity, Carrick is playing Billy basic football, back 4, 2 lines of 4, counter-attacking FC. He's playing triangles. No, he's talking about confidence. He's talking about these players doing the simple things. And I'm not talking about the performance, but I also can't get like that was yesterday. We've got to go forward to the next game. Are we going to live out on this? We beat a City. Let's be fair, they were shit. We beat them. We've done it, and this for me is the problem. Is we want to dine up the Glazers and Ineos. I've been looking at comments on the United YouTube channels, the socials this morning, and everybody's so positive. Like everyone is, oh, Carrick is amazing. Well done the boys. He needs the Glazer out has just dropped off. The Glazer out has dropped off. The Wilcox out has stopped. The negative, not the realism of getting these clowns out has dropped because of one win. And this is what spoils it for me, by the way. This is what spoils a win for me is that people go over the top with it. Like, it's a great win, enjoy the performance. These players, why do these players get a reprieve? Again, these are the players that have thrown Amrin under a bus. These are the players that threw Ranić under the bus. These are the players that threw Ten Hag under the bus. Don't forget, they did this with Ollie. Like, there's this pattern that gets repeated over and over and over again. You look at what's happened, and yet they're doing the pattern again because Carrick is their friend. Carrick is doing all of the right thing, and these players are responding. The reason why these players didn't respond to rugby, it was because it's too hard. They're playing Billy Basic football, and they are responding because it's basic. And we're getting caught up in this whole, because we've had it so bad for so long. Any positivity in this fan base laps it up. So I want to know your opinion on that. Do you think this is a new dawn? Do you think we are right to get carried away? I've seen it this morning as well, where some people are saying this is different. The players are different. This wasn't just about a win. This was a statement. I've never seen these players play like this before. This is a different era. And these are the people that were saying the same thing after fucking Liverpool. These were the same content creators, the same people, the same pundits after the Liverpool game was saying the same thing. This is a new dawn. We've not won there for 9 years. These players look different, and these players are battle hardened. These players are up for a fight. These players have changed. Ask me in 5 games time, in 5 or 6 games time, if we keep playing like this. I'm not saying we're going to win every single game, but if these players in 5 or 6 games time, look, I'd love for the season to be turned around. I'd love for this season to be Carrick comes in, and Carrick is the guy. I'd love for him to come in, prove me wrong, prove people wrong, because that's what he's got to do, by the way, and be here for 20 years. Come in and these players have a redemption arc, and it is Amorim. But again, people would blame an Amorim for that, but who brought Amorim in? The Glazers, Wilcox, Ineos are trying to spin. The club are trying to spin this right now because they're trying to get you to push, because they're trying to blame a manager that they've sacked as well. This is, they're getting the more positivity they can put between the sacking and yesterday is what they're going to try and do. So they're going to try and make a scapegoat, because Wilcox is looking for a way out. Omar is looking for a way out. Glenios is looking for a way out. And they're trying to put as much space between themselves and yesterday. And yesterday was perfect for them. Yesterday was perfect. What a perfect way for you to throw Amorim under the bus even more. Perfect way. But look, if Carrick is the guy and makes everybody else before him look ridiculous, fantastic. And then we can have that conversation then and say, well, do you know what? But for me, this just makes Wilcox look even more incompetent, because as it's shown, why wouldn't you go and hire a back four coach? Go and get somebody who is basic, who can instill principles that are basic into this team now. But no, Wilcox's ego thought that he knew best and went to try and hire a manager that plays a back three. So in my view, this doesn't even make Wilcox look good. The only person right now for me, or the only people that come into this situation right now and look good, is Carrick. But there's a positivity spin. So look, when you're listening to this today, this is my view. Positivity. We won a game, fantastic. Got no issue with that. Okay, we won a game, brilliant, fantastic. What's next? Where is the midfielder that we desperately need? Where are the wing backs we need? It's okay to play a low block, and it's okay to play Maguire. Maguire's 34 years old, 33 years old. Is he can't do that every single game. We can't play a low block every single game. So look, I'm going to get a few opinions. Let's see. We all need to relax on Carrick. If he goes and wins like 16 games of excellent football, then I will consider. Can't wait to have Mazraoui back. Why not? I'm a big fan of the Austrian. Yep, that's actually not a bad idea. Like and subscribe, guys, help the channel, and this is the best place to be. Yeah, I agree with you completely. spilling nobody. It's like Ollie all over again. I haven't forgotten he was part of the team that got Ollie fired. Exactly, exactly that. I'd never give Carrick a contract. If we get top 4, Carrick should stay. Not for me, Cesar. No, not for me. Not for me. What we should do is we should get a caretaker in, which we have, and Carrick is the caretaker. If you want best in class, you have to go and get the best in class. Let's take our roles seriously. We are the generals around here. There are a lot of switch players. You can beat anyone, but never in a consistent way against a team that attacks. Could win, and with a team that sits back and struggles. And look, and that's what Amarin said as well. You know, that's what Amarin said as well. Amarin said the whole season we are capable of beating any team. And also, one of the things as well, right, is everything that Amarin has said. He said about these players are still learning, confidence of these players, the confidence, and it is still the same. It is still the same. These players are confident players. These players are light switch players. The ability is there because it has to be there. The ability is there. Bruno Fernandes showed you that. He showed you that. You know, if you put him into that 10 position, he's going to be that player. You know, but can they consistently do that? If we can get a result against Arsenal, I'd say give Carrick a chance. These players choose when to win and when to lose. I suspect match fixing show consistency over 5 games. Otherwise, the players will go back to sleep. I agree with you, Theodore. If you're bored, you can go elsewhere. Well said. What a counter attack! What a counter attack! Yesterday's game was spectacular. He's not waffling. Let's be nice. Look. I'm just giving my view. If people don't enjoy it, I do hate to say it. You know, United a new world-class coach, not a yes man. No hate, just want another Ollie. Just don't want another Ollie. JB blushing at the love he's receiving. Yo, JB, says David. With a performance like yesterday, I think sky is the limit. You can see what I did there. Yep. It was one game when people are getting so carried away. Yes, we were good. We now have to play like that every game. United, a new world-class coach isn't yet. I agreed. Sadalo is horrible. Bang Bang says we've seen this movie before, mate. Trust me, it doesn't end well. And that's the point that I'm trying to make on here, right? This is the point. This channel does not do extremities, right? I will celebrate a win, but we do not get carried away. You know, look, I could for clicks be that channel that, you know, like everyone else is boring right now. Top 4 is on, you know, top 5 is on. We're a top 4 team. You know, we're this, we're that. It's one game. It's one derby game, you know. Need a world-class coach. Carrick isn't experienced. Is this so good? What did he get fired in at the championship? Darren says hi. Bang Bang. And we're talking about top 4. That's how far Manchester United has fallen. We used to laugh at Arsenal for this, and now they're title races and we're battling for top 4. It's embarrassing. Bang Bang. It is. It really is. You know, we're talking about top 4, and this is why I refuse to do it. Bang Bang. I say this. My standard for the club is this. I demand we're in a title race every season. I demand that we win the league every season. I demand that we're in the Champions League every season. Not because I'm stupid, not because I think that we will. These are the standards. Bang Bang. These are the standards that I expect, and Bang Bang for precisely that reason. Precisely that reason. If we don't have these standards in place, this is what we become. We become a club who is hoping for top 4. We're praying for top 4, guys. You know, a top 4 race. Yeah, we're in a top 4 race, guys. Amazing. You know, we're getting so excited over one win. You know, what are we? What have we become? Have we become Arsenal of old? Like, have we become, have we become and no disrespect, have we become a Crystal Palace? Like, have we become a Huddersfield Town? Are we these sorts of teams now whereby, oh, top four races on, you know, and FA Cup run, a Carabao Cup run, a top four. You know, are those the things now that have become the standard, in terms of the standard should be we finished second, we're not happy. We got to the FA Cup final, should have won it. Those are the standards, and bang bang's right. Mark Carrick says movie is 18 plus with short and the low and all the bums. It's great to finally be here, says Henderson legend. Is it okay if you want him? Nobody. I don't want another Ollie. Was Amarin awful? Was Amarin awful? Let's have a little look, see what Nikarutsu saying. Was Amarin awful though, considering where we sat in the league table and with a god awful squad? No, look, yesterday was perfect for the Glazers, perfect for Ineos. Wilcox was perfect for him as well. Was just perfect for them, because they can now put layers between themselves and Amarin. Was Amarin a bad coach? No. Let's get to the end of the season, and then we can have that debate, and we can have that. But this squad is a god awful squad. People are going to say because we won a game yesterday, they're now ballers. They're now the best thing since sliced bread. They're not. They really are not. I don't want him yet. I do think if he does really well, he should be considered. I've made this exact point before about Amarin. I know what you mean, mate. Amarin was holding the record for most handsome Premier League manager. Now he's gone. Thanks, Jim. Very true. Let's see his next run of games. Can't be counting our chickens that early. No one thing is just trust the players. They will damn tools. Called player power. At least Ruben got rid of a lot of toxic players. And yes, some are still at. He's got the balls. Amarin spoke the truth and got sacked for it. Half the players don't deserve to have the power. Glory to United. Well, we're speaking the truth. In any job, usually gets the sack. I think Steve Holland by his side might help. Good result, you lads, at the weekend. So, Jackie, I want another coach to get rid of Dalot, Bruno, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Casemiro, Ugarte, and so on. With Carrick, they will get a new contract and shift. And that is the scary thing. That is the scary thing. Will Casemiro, if Casemiro plays 35 games this season, Casemiro gets an automatic extension. Will Carrick do it to a point, to a degree? Will Casemiro will get a new contract? Will Harry Maguire get a new contract? Will Bruno Fernandes get a new contract? These are the things that we need to think about as well. Kuman says, can't do anything about the Glazers and the board. Just get beyond Carrick. Lumen, I disagree. No. Lumen, disagree. Lumen, look, I respect the opinion, guys. I do respect people's opinions, and if that's what you think. So, Lumen, all I'm going to say to you is what? So we give up. We basically let the Glazers win. We let Ineos win, and let's all just get behind Carrick. Mate, you literally might as well work for the Glazers. You might as well work for Carrick. And Lumen, mate, I guarantee you'd be the first person to moan when we lose the next game. Like, the reason why the Glazers are still here, the reason why this club is shit, is because and mate, I'm not calling you out on this one, but that is the reason this club fails, is because the attitude is, we can't do anything about the Glazers. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. But the fan base is like, we win a game. And look, we've seen this movie before. We've seen this time and time again. And this is literally like part 17 of a franchise of a really, really, really shit film. It's not funny anymore, you know. And Lumen, I'm not calling you out, I promise you, but that comment is what I'm expecting today. These are the comments that I'm expecting today. Is, oh, you know, we can't do anything about the Glazers. Carrick, you know, he's won a game. You know, things have changed, and this is what we are fighting for. This is what I will continue to fight for on this channel. It is going to be boring. It's going to be boring, but I am Glazers out. I am. If Carrick is best in class, then fine. But we can't accept the Glazers in the board. We can't. We absolutely can't. It was one good game. He has 16 left. Plenty of time for Carrick's true impact to come through. Exactly. A win is a win. Yep. You need a start of play. Ruben would have been successful if he was backed. He spoke the truth and got fired. Maybe I'm wrong, but who knows? At least to give him a chance. Sadly, we are run poorly. Don't say 3 years and sack him later. Wilcox's balls got hurt and they sacked him. Michael Rushford says, one swallow doesn't make a summer. The team has always had the odd result against the top team. It's the West Hams, Wolves, Evertons. They fall over and show their true colours. The only good thing about a cup is the away team get 50% of the money, so it benefits the smaller teams. True, let's see if Rangers can perform. Wilcox is a disgrace. He is. Barry Morgan says, can't help but agree with what you said, mate, but Basic just schooled Pep. This wasn't a smash and grab like previous game. It's a fresh start again, so let's see where it takes us. And you know, look, I don't mind a fresh start. You know, the thing is, right, I might come across like, you know, like I'm this guy who's this, you know, but I've seen this before. Like, I don't mind a fresh start if it's a fresh start, if it's a proper true fresh start, but you're not going to know that for a couple of months, right? And this is what my problem is that people are like, this is a fresh start now, and it is the hope that kills you. It is the hope that does you in, right? If this is our fresh start, fantastic, but we're not going to know for at least 6 months to a year, you know, because football is a very here and now thing, but it has, you know, we talk about giving a manager time, right? Or we talk about giving a manager, you know, time over 2 or 3 years, but then in the next breath we want results now. You know, Carrick is going to win us the league, right? Now Carrick is the best thing since sliced bread, right? In 6 months' time, if we finish 8th, right, we look stupid because we're talking about Carrick is like this next big thing, but we want results now, but it has to be over a long period of time, and we're not prepared. There is no consistency. There is no consistency in let's have long-term thinking, long-term consistency, or short-term thinking, short-term results. And if you have short-term results, short-term consistency, then you turn into a Chelsea. You turn into, and that's no disrespect to them, but you turn into a club that just sacks the manager. Bangman says, we've had this movie before when we've beaten City. Amrin was building. I would have rather laws to City kept the product. Don't get me wrong, great day yesterday, but it's the long run. I've seen that Guehi was sold for 20 million. That's a bargain if it's true. It's 30 million, 20 million up front, 10 million in add-ons. Alex Ferguson says yesterday was great and some of the best 90 minutes performance I've seen us play in years, but we've seen this all before. Main goal is the Glazers and Ineos out. I do agree. Both goals were due to shit defending by City. We've been in Liverpool, Chelsea. We've beaten Liverpool, Chelsea and City this season. And why can't they beat big teams but not small teams? These players are mercenaries, yet they get up when they want to. Exactly. Don't forget Grimsby, by the way. Grimsby is still there, by the way. People are glossing over that. Grimsby is still there, by the way. Everton at home is still there. Now, what happens when we don't play a City and you play a team that's prepared to dig in, like a Burnley, like an Everton, like an Aston Villa. You know what like happens then? Michael says, let's have a little look. Goal still Enrique from PSG. We need to use our power. I'm going to subscribe, says Theodore. Thanks, buddy. United, I'd go anywhere for 30k, let alone 300. Feel awesome, welcome in. I shout. Come on, Theodore. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, Theodore. Palace manager wasn't happy yesterday. Sad times. If we beat Arsenal, Carrick has to stay. And QWERTY, come on, mate. No. But look, getting your opinions on this. I just because maybe I will disagree doesn't mean that my view is right. Okay, doesn't mean that when I talk, I'm right. I've been wrong many times. For me, if Carrick, look, when are we going to become that club that is going to not do those things again? Look, if Carrick wins 2 games, it's 2 games. You could be Arsenal twice, City twice, Liverpool twice, Aston Villa twice, Chelsea twice. Right? 6, 8, 12, 6, 8, 12, 18, 24 points. Right? You could lose the rest of the games. Just because you beat the top sides, why should Carrick get a contract if he wins 2 games? Do you know how ludicrous that is, right? So let's just say the 2 games were Wolves, and bearing in mind we drew with Wolves, so let's just say the 2 games were Wolves and West Ham, right? And Carrick, he came in and beat West Ham and Wolves, got 6 points. What's the difference in winning 2 Premier League games for 6 points with the lower sides rather than winning 6 points against City and like an Arsenal? What's the difference? And of course, you can say, you know, they are the top teams in the league. Arsenal dropped points yesterday. Arsenal now drop points. City have dropped points this season. Liverpool haven't been the best this season. So just because we are programmed in this club now that as soon as positivity is there, we basically then have to go all in on the first positive thing. Serious fan Bus says Carrick will lose games, but he needs support. There's no guarantee that you'll finish in the top 4. I still feel that you will be between 10th and 12th. And look, I'm still not backing down that we finish between 8th and 10th. This is not a Carrick witch hunt, right? I will back in this season. I've got no problem, and I genuinely wish if Carrick wins every single game, then look, whether I like it or not, Carrick will have to be in contention, 100%. But it's not happened yet. It's 1 game, and I still don't prescribe to a top 4. I don't. I don't trust this team. And look, I admire people who stick their neck out on the line. Maybe people see things that I don't. Perhaps people just see things that I don't. Right now, I don't see it. It's 1 game. And I think we just need to I know we're all excited and I know we all want to run before we can walk, but I just think that we just need to learn from Oli, Ranić, Ten Hag, Amorim. I was liking Glazers until his head loss yesterday. I don't want him. I don't want him at all. I'm off to Frankie and Benny's for breakfast. Got a dash. Have an amazing day, JB and friends of the channel. Look, Nick Carucci, buddy. Have a good one, mate. Enjoy breakfast. Why can't Ineos go and try to set up a deal with Alonso? He's tactically flexible and would be good for the squad. Forget about Liverpool pass like you did with Busby. We'll have to play games where we have 60% possession. Those are the games that we struggle to break down teams and get a result. Let's see how Carrick does with that. Exactly. The Hearts is boring. I can't stand it. We have always beaten teams with our counter-attacking football. I possess the power. Sorry for kind of spam. Just so many typos. Not a problem. Why would a top-class CDM come to United? And serious, look, mate. I think long term, I think you're probably right. But at the moment, there seems to be this thing with this club is the moment that we're doing well, or the moment that we look, whether people like it or not, and I get it, we are still a top draw, whether people like this or not. We are still a top draw club, and there's nothing, it's one of those things. How did Liverpool, when Liverpool weren't great, attract top players? Chelsea haven't always been the most fantastic side. It's you almost serious fan. Where I almost agree with you is we need to be smarter. We need to not go for these top CDM targets. We almost need to go for the just before they become top class players, and then you get the top class players. And the reason for that is because those are the repercussions of being shit for so long. I'd still have that. Paul Niche fan says, "Good morning, JB. Carrick is our saviour. I can feel it. He's completely different to Ollie. He's going to smash Arsenal next game. We're top 2 team under reality." Niche fan, mate. Welcome, buddy. Niche fan. Niche fan. I can't work you out sometimes, mate. I can't, buddy. Mate, I absolutely think that you're legendary. I can't work you out, mate. I can't work you out, buddy. Mate, you know that I respect people's views. I respect your view, mate. I can't work it out, dude. I can't work you out. I mean, look, because we've won a game. Look, Niche, think about it from a logical perspective, right? We have won one game under him. We've drawn one since Amrin's been sacked. We've drawn one, lost one, won one. How can Carrick be the saviour after a game? Mate, Niche fan, you might be spot on, you might be 100% right, but I just don't know. Mate, explain it to me, Niche fan. Explain it to me, buddy. Look, explain it, my friend. Explain it, how you come up with that conclusion after one game. Gold Prick saying how he knew how we would play and how we would win. I remember him saying we get battered. Prick. I mean, look, I will tell you. Yesterday was my view, or maybe the day before on it. I said that we should win because it's a derby. There should be no excuses. I had no rhyme or reason why we would win, right? I think I did say the only pointer for me as to why that we would win is because that's what we've done. But I couldn't have predicted yesterday. I would never have predicted that, because I don't know. The only thing, and I even said this on stream, I had no reason behind it other than it was a derby. But look, people are going to say whatever they want to say. I can't be the only one thinking how amazing it would be if Carrick could finish in the Champions League spot, not so he can stay, because what it does for transfers and any potential top. And Barry, mate, 100. But look, Barry Morgan, 100%. Right, the things that I say on this channel, negativity stuff, right? I don't want to be right. I always say this: if I am right, it means I'm wrong, right? It would be, Barry, I would love Carrick to be the guy. I'd love people like a Niche fan. I'd love people to come back on and say, "Oh, you talk out your ass. We all knew that Carrick was going to be the guy. You said that you weren't sure." I'd love it. It would be, look, people have opinions, and just because people say stuff that doesn't happen, or people have a different opinion, right? It's life. People, that's what an opinion is. Sometimes people are going to be right. Sometimes people are going to be wrong. And Barry, I would look. I'm not against Carrick, and I'm going to say this now. I will support the manager. I would love it if Carrick, look, if Carrick got us, right, if Carrick got us into the Champions League, what an amazing feat. I mean, the guy would have had what a turnaround for this club. What an absolute shrewd move, and if it was Wilcox who pushed for him, because I did say it was Ollie and an ego pushed for Carrick, and if that was Wilcox who pushed that, whether it was luck, whether it was he saw something in there, I will say on this occasion, Wilcox, lucky, but you picked the right guy. Fantastic. If Carrick comes in and gets us in there, should he be given that chance? Possibly. And then if Carrick went on to win the Champions League, went on to win the league, fantastic. Who's to say the next season he doesn't then fall off a cliff, right? Barry, 100% agree with you. I only want to see success at this club. I only want to see people do well. I want to see Omar Barada do well. I want to see Wilcox do well. I want to see Ineos do well. I want the Glazers to turn around, clear off of the debt and be the most amazing owners. But these things don't happen, and I'm not just going to blindly back people because I know what this club is. I know what these players are. But Barry, you are so right. I would love it. It would be fantastic. Bangman says, seen this before. If we beat Man City, but it doesn't really end well. Amram was building now. Exactly. £1 million for winning a Dahats. Amrin beat big teams as well. These players get up and they want. They've beat. Yeah, exactly. It's embarrassing to celebrate top four. It's like when Conte was at Tottenham. He said the same thing. Isn't winning doing this for high performance and standards. We have to give him a 5-year deal. Any says organisation craves stability. The 5-year deal will give us stability. But niche fan, Amarin, Ollie, niche fan. At times, buddy. Look, I find, mate. I find it very, very difficult, niche fan, at times to wonder what your real intentions are, mate. Just because, look, we're trying to be a different club, and look, niche, you might be right, mate. But look, it's an interesting one. The team bottle it too much like Spurs. I hope we get back on top. I'm so glad that fraud Aaron has gone. Michael will always the man destined to lead this club. I don't see how, niche fan. I don't see how, mate. But happy that we won. I'll never be sad about that. Exactly. Don't ever be sad about a win. Don't ever be sad about a win. My thoughts are, under the Glazers and Ineos will never be successful. Apparently, Wilcox didn't want Carrick. He wanted Ollie. Ratcliffe and Sir Alex apparently wanted Carrick. Well, again, whoever who and again, right? Whoever wanted Carrick in, right? Then give them props. And it does go to back up what I was saying about, somebody more powerful wanted Carrick in because Ollie was the guy. Ollie was the guy until the Saturday. And it makes sense. It makes sense that those people with the power had their way, Niche fan says, scammering. Like, niche fan, mate, let's move away from Amarin. Look, Amarin is gone. Amarin is the past. It's so easy to sit here and say after one win that Amarin was a scammer. He wasn't a scammer. Where was that Casemiro performance the last game? The reason why the Casemiro performance wasn't there the last game is because Casemiro was sitting in front of a back four because we were compact. Michael, I've been saying this all season. All season till I'm blue in the face. Casemiro, when you put Casemiro as a destroyer and you sit him in a compact team where he doesn't have to run, his job is to sit in front of a back four, back three, and break up play. It's brilliant. The reason why Casemiro was not there in the last game was because he wasn't doing that role. Casemiro isn't a box to box. He's 34 years old. He's an anchor. He's a destroyer that sits in front of a back four, and he can do that all day. That defense was perfect. Low block counter attack FC. The Glazers don't want money. Exactly, it's all about success. The fans let it slip. Our fans are constantly spinning. It's why the Glazers were here, sadly. We fight with each other and not against the Glazers. Exactly, JB. I've been with you since the start. You and I both know the Glazers aren't going anywhere. Let's accept it and embrace Carrick as the show. Nope. Niche fan, mate. Nope. Niche fan, mate. Again, look, niche fan. The reason why, niche fan, I like you so much is because your opinions are different, niche. Your opinions are different to mine, right? As I say, I like people's opinions are different to mine because what it does, it adds talking points. It adds debate. And I think, niche fan, I think your opinions are vastly different to mine. I disagree. I don't accept it, niche. I do not accept that we can't get rid of the Glazers. I will never accept it. And I'm not accepting it. I don't embrace it, niche. I don't accept it. I don't embrace it. I will never embrace the Glazers. I will never embrace this structure in place. It doesn't mean Carrick. I'm not going to support Carrick. I will support him, but I will never embrace the Glazers. I will never embrace this model because, niche fan, how can you embrace people that have bought us on debt, never paid the debt off, have taken £1 million, £1 billion out for their own money, have let our home, niche fan, have let our home go to rack and ruin. They want to tear down our home. Niche fan, how can I embrace that? How can I embrace people that have destroyed the club? How can I embrace a family that loaded this club up with debt, have never paid off that debt, used £800 million of our money to pay off interest. They've never paid off of the loan. They've never put on their own penny, a penny of their own cash into this club. They've taken £1 billion out. They want to sell us for £6-7 billion. How can I embrace that, niche? And then also to add insult to injury, they're going to knock our home down. Niche, if somebody came to your home, whether you own it, rent it, knocked it down and turfed you out, like how can I, niche fan, how can I embrace it? This is not about Carrick. This is not about the players. This is about look, this is the Carrick. Whether Carrick is going to be here for 30 years, Carrick is not always going to be here. I'm not always going to be here. There are going to be people that will support the club long after I'm gone. It's not about us. It's about the club. It's about the next generation. It's about the people that are not here now. But we've got to secure the future. It is always about the future. And I will never, niche fan, I'll never ever embrace it. Never will. I will never will do, mate. But look, if that's something that you can do and you can embrace it and that's what you can get on board with, mate, no problem at all. But I will never embrace this. Never. Some of our fans, yeah, I do agree. Someone said, on behalf of all Arsenal fans, thank you for giving us the title. Well, Samuel, mate, you dropped the ball, buddy. You dropped the ball, mate. You're sleeping on Villa. Don't sleep on Aston Villa, mate. Do not sleep on Villa. If we beat you next week, and Aston Villa win the next two games, Samuel, I'm going to say this to you and Arsenal fans: don't count your chickens because you're going to look very, very silly. Bang Bang says, and let's have it right. Beat in City is great, but doesn't mean the same thing. It's if men a couple of seasons ago, this team, this City team is fragile. We handed you the title, mate. You still got to win games. Glasner deserved better. Now we won it. Oh, Samuel. It's not a fresh start. It's a spiritual rebirth. Niche. I think you're on a wind up niche today, mate. You are. Niche is on a wind up today. Niche is on a wind up. Well, I earned 15 in rent. No need to work. Jenny says my Man City was humiliated and embarrassing by the first person I thought of when I was getting beat was you, because you'd criticise United. I'm absolutely shocked. But you did good. Look, Jenny. Look, I never revel in people getting bad, right? Look, people will sit there and I admire it. I love the way that, it's a derby, a rivalry. 100% people need to do the banter. I don't mind the banter. That's not how I operate. It's not how I am as a person. It is nice to win a game, right? How I am as a person is if we beat a City, fantastic. At the end, fantastic. I've got no interest in rubbing it in somebody's face. I've got no problem if you guys, look, enjoy it. City fans give us enough shit. Fans across the world give us enough shit. I do not revel in that stuff, right? I'll move on. But yesterday, again, enjoy it. City had a bad day yesterday, but I can't live off of yesterday. Yesterday is done. We move forward today, and today today is interesting. It's always the next day for me that is the most interesting part of a win, particularly like this. Bang Bang says, bring back 08. Bobby's in the house. Legend. I hate Man U. You gave Arsenal a 7-point lead. Let's go Chelsea. The funny thing here is people are sleeping on Aston Villa. Don't sleep on Villa. People are sleeping on Villa. JQ says A Delo should have been sent off against Doku. He should have been sent off, but he didn't. He didn't get sent off at all. Bang Bang says, mate, last season we drew with Liverpool, where I should have won by Arsenal away in the FA Cup. Lost to everyone else. People don't understand that these players get up when they want to. Exactly. Great win last night. Donnarumma was in fire. There should have been 6 or 7. Oh, you made me say 6, 7. Noah says, what were you expecting from the derby, mate? Look, what was I expecting? I told you I said yesterday, the day before, against the derby, what was I expecting? And I'll tell you again, the videos there. I expected these players to turn up. I expected these players to put their bodies on the line. I expected a performance. I didn't care. I didn't care about results. I didn't care about form guides. It was a derby, and what I was expecting is what I saw. What I was expecting is what I saw, and in a derby, people are going to be saying, "Oh, this was an amazing feat." No. What I saw yesterday should have been fucking standard. Yesterday wasn't a it shouldn't have been a miracle performance. Yesterday should have been standard. It is a derby, and I did. This is all there, and I'll be consistent in my approach. That was a fucking derby, and what I expected them was to turn up for a derby. When you're at home in a derby, the minimum that I expect is effort. The minimum that I expect is basically to chuck the form guide out of the window and put your necks on the line and do something. And that is what I saw yesterday, and that is what I will praise the players for. I'm not going to praise them for the previous games because they've been absolute dog shit. I will praise them because, do you know what I saw yesterday? There can be no excuses now for the rest of the season, because I know these players can do that every single game, but they won't do it. But yesterday was exactly what I asked for, and they proved me wrong yesterday. They proved to me that they can do this. They proved to the fan base that this is what they can do. What they've now got to prove is that, can this be consistency? Can this be the normality? So yesterday, what I saw, and people are going to go OTT over this, but yesterday was the bare standard of what we should expect. Was the bare standard. This is United. This was a derby. I couldn't care less if we were sat bottom of the table on 0 points. Yesterday, I would still have expected the same thing yesterday, because it is a derby. Just going on, or the first person that looks doesn't work. It's like blowing all your money on the first stripper in a strip joint. You have fun for a short time and then regret it all season. Jace, he says, I'm a Liverpool fan. Lovely win yesterday. United deserve to be back. So, look, Jace, mate, look, that I really respect that, mate. Look, it's how good is it for a league when the two biggest English clubs are back on top, and I just think it's a good thing for the league. And look, I just hope that one day we can have a Liverpool and United race. That is what I'm hoping for. Aaron said, I got timed out for saying your source was wrong about Ollie. Nothing to do with me, buddy. My source hasn't been wrong, by the way. My source hasn't been wrong. My source hasn't been wrong once. You can say that, but my source hasn't been wrong once, mate. If he wins all of them, he can't say trust me, mate. We've seen this movie before. Free United, get the owners out. I do agree. Beg you to get back this. I'm more worried about playing teams like West Ham rather than Arsenal and City. Still, why get timed? I don't know, Aaron. Mate, I don't know. To right, I'm shocked, JB, today. But we beat City. That's a massive step. One step at a time. The Glazers out. We will lose the next game. That's the United way. I was not looking forward to the game yesterday. I thought we'd lose early, but United were brutal. Carrick is no master plan. He's sellotape. I worked with the guy from Leeds. Every time they played, he stuck 20 quid in them to win, regardless if they played. Yeah, exactly. JB, I love you and the mods in here, but here's the explanation. So Alex embodied his club. No other manager has done that since his departure. Yesterday I saw a leader of men, an aura, untamed. I saw United. And look, mate, if that is what you saw yesterday, Nish, that is on you. I don't see how you see that after one game. Ferguson didn't do that after one game. It took Fergie, 5 years? It took him 5 years. I don't need, look, mate, I respect the opinion. Got no issue in that. I don't see how you can see that after one game. I don't, mate. Chris Britt says, I've given it some thought after what you said, JB, and I still think I've given it some thought after what you said, JB, and I still think that we're back. Look, Chris, mate, you look, if you look, there is not, look, we all watch football in a different way, right? There is no problem in people saying that we're back. Like, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to talk about it, right? This channel's job, in my view, is to bring people together, talk about this stuff. But the most important thing for me on this channel is that we can debate amongst ourselves, but we're not against each other. That is the whole point of this channel, is that if you think differently to me, I think differently to you. Like, for example, Niche Fan this morning is very, very different thoughts to me. Doesn't mean that and your opinion is any less important than mine. And I think the reason why this fan base at times fails is because people don't get their voices heard. People argue because they're so frustrated. You'll go to a channel, and if you don't adhere and you don't agree with what they're saying, they kick you out. That's not what happens here. We can have difference of opinions, and sometimes people get fraught and frustrated on here. But the whole point of this, Chris, is, as you say, I think I'd think we're nowhere near back. I think we need to this is going to take a year, 2-3 years. But I admire people that have different opinions to me. And Chris, look, mate, if you still think we're back, that's all good. That's all good. That's all good. Cold Logic Legend, no idea why fans always rate other club legends above our own, like what qualifies Xavi over Carrick. I was born in 1968. I was born in 1983. Nobody fan, you're trolling and you're doing it on purpose. Nobody, but everybody. Why don't JB do that then? Get behind you, United. Shock does not do it. I'm support your team in good times and bad times. Football always is ups and downs, especially in a league as competitive as the Premier League. Support your team in good and JB. Support your team in good and bad times. Football always has its ups and downs, especially in the Premier League. But Jenny, I don't support this club through the good or the bad times, Jenny. Well, Jenny, what's support to you? I've been on this channel through every game this season. So Jenny, let me come back at you for a second on that, right? I've done pre-season games in this club until 3 o'clock in the morning on this channel when they were away for pre-season, and we're not talking about Premier League games. We're talking about pre-season games where we've played shit. I've been up to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, even though I've had work the next day. I've watched every single game this season. I've been to the Grimsby game. I've supported this club. I've supported the manager. I've seen every single game this season. We've been dross in a lot of these games. But if you're asking me to get behind a club, and what I mean is I support this club through thick and thin, but what you're saying to me is I should just get behind the players, Jenny. What you're saying to me, Jenny, is what you've got to understand is there's a difference between supporting the badge and supporting the club and getting behind these fucking awful players. And this, I will never apologise for not getting behind these players. I will not apologise for not getting behind this Glazers. I do not get behind it. That means I support this club more than anything else because I support the club. I support the badge. I don't support these players. I don't support the Glazers. I don't support Ineos. And Jenny, I think you get it confused. Jenny, I think the fact that you support City tells me everything that I need to know. Plastic, fake. I guarantee you the moment that Pet leaves and City's crap, Jenny, you'll be off. Tell me that I don't support this club. Jenny, it's if that's your view, my view on supporting the club is that you support the club. I don't like these results this season. I've sat through so many games. I've sat through the games. We've spoken about this, Jenny. You've not been on here. We have gone through this as a community. ups and downs. We've gone through this together. I've not shied away from a single game. I've not shied away from a loss. We've sat there as a community and watched so many crap games, and not because I'm here, because I've got to get behind the players. You've just got to support the players. They've been, but as niche fan said, oh, we're never going to get rid of the Glazers. Give up. Let's just get behind the team. Let's just get behind players like a Luke Shaw who sacked 7 fucking managers. Let's get behind these players who've sacked coaches who've down tools all season. No, I will never be that guy. Never, never, never. And I get behind this club and this team. Doesn't mean I get behind the play. So Jenny, look, you've got your opinion. You clearly watch football in a different way to me. United for me is more than players. It's more than owners. It is about the fans. It is about the club. It's about history, and it's about the future, Jenny. And look, if you don't see that, Jenny, that's up to you. These jokers, don't fool me, not buying it for one performance. American businessmen see debt as smart. They never pay it off, even when they've got the money to. M. Seth says, United. Scott is in the house. I know as a Rangers fan, we dominated for years. Now we're playing at second fiddle to 14 years. Bread and circuses. Great result yesterday, says Martin Legend. Nobody cares about Scottish football. Hit the likes. Listen, mate, I've noticed this niche fella on the other United fan channels as well, making comments. I really would ignore this guy. Scott says I'm the top mod around here. Bang bang, I've been sworn at on YouTube. How lovely, but I've had a lot worse sent to me. Got broad shoulders. Should the press 50 quid 50 kg dumbbells down water, offer ducks back to me at bangs for life. Look, I don't believe it. Like, bang bang, mate, this is a channel, mate. This is a channel that, I as I don't believe in abusing people for like having an opinion, unless people abuse people back, and the channel, and they abuse for things that are outside of what we're talking about. Bang bang, this channel for me is about respect. Look, I don't agree with niche fan Jenny. It doesn't mean they shouldn't have a view, but look, people swear at people in terms of this sort of stuff because they get frustrated, and it's not right. It's not right. That performance is not typical of this team. We'll buy into it. Like, we're back. I agree with you completely. Let's have a little look. I would love to see Carrick do the job. So would I. I'll let you argue about that. At the end of the day, if Carrick gets 85 to 90% win between now and then, he'll be justified in expecting a job. I disagree. Carrick is an interim. He should remain that. Got to get my nails done. Little look. Keep you going. Ahmad Edit says, hi, are you champion of your sport? Oliver Martin Face says, when I see the lineup yesterday and the way we started, I fancied us to win. Maguire, Martinez made a massive difference. The game at Etihad, City just walked through United. Yes, and the crowd were up for it. Exactly that. Would you keep Carrick? It's too early to tell. It's too early for me. Ask me in a year's time. Imagine Carrick comes in and win 5 games straight away off of the bat. Ivan says, for us to prevail, we need these damn Glazers out. I agree with you. If I'm Sheska, I'd be very worried. United showed yesterday they don't need him. The guy can't trap a ball. I disagree with that. JB or the chat, is Pep leaving City this year? I think there is a good chance. I think that he will leave. I do. Fun fact, Macclesfield have beaten more Prem teams this year than Man City. He will have time off again. Mark says, back in Spain, his wife left him last year, didn't she? And I think his kids went back. Obviously, don't know, but that's what I read. Let's keep going. Matt the Monkey says, Jesus, I just had a great result. Tell your face. Well done. Nice one. Aaron says that after that awful Arsenal performance last night, if we keep the standards from yesterday, we have a huge chance and an opportunity here. Effing awful players. What are you on about? In Burmo, Cunha, Bruno, Delos, Show, Dorgu, all Essen yesterday. Matt, mate, look, I've got my opinions, Matt. I don't like these players, Matt. Look, you can, Matt, you can love these players, right? You can love these players, right? There are very few players in this team that I'd like and would keep. In Burmo, Cunha, Dorgu, and Ahmad. Matt, that was one game. Just because you play well in one game doesn't mean you're... Matt, Grimsby, Everton, Forest, Spurs, Brighton, the previous game, Matt the Monkey, Brighton, Burnley, because they have one game. I can't stand this team. I can't stand these players. But look, Matt, if you're gonna rim these players, if you're gonna shove your tongue up these players' arses after one game because they played well in one game, mate, that is up to you. If you're gonna rim Luke Shaw, if you think Luke Shaw yesterday was good, mate, I would love to live in your fantasy world. I'd love to live in it, mate. But if you want to sit there and you want to believe in these players, if you want to believe in these players again, then that can make this magic happen. If Matt, if you want to believe in a Casemiro yesterday that basically sat there in two banks of four and sat there in front of a back four, and at 34 years old was amazing yesterday, you go for it, mate. You go for it. But guess what, mate? I don't prescribe to the same thinking as you do. One game, one swallow doesn't make a summer. That's up to you, mate. Once upon a time, City would celebrate a win over us. It was like a trophy. Standards have slipped from the fan base. Let's have a little look. Niche fan used to be a United fan. What the fuck happened? Young Shane says, hey, this season should be Bruno's last for United. Yes, I do agree. I absolutely 100% agree with you. Can you list players, please? I think we have similar opinions. I'll let you do all that. Can you list players because we have similar opinions? I think Bruno should not be okay. So young Shane, I'll give you my views on the players that shouldn't be here. So for me, these are the list of players that should go. Delo, Luke Shaw, Maguire should go, Casemiro should go, Mason Mount should go, Bruno Fernandes should go, Xerxes, I would let him go, Ugarte go as well. Look, just because these players played well in one game, I don't like. Look, there are certain players in this team that I do like. Cunha I like, Ahmad I like, in Bumo I like, Shesko I like, Heaven I like, Lacey I like, but the rest of this team is not good. Let's have a little look. Says Cold Logic. I love that. Moonstone says Timu Eddie Hearn. Love it. Bring it on. Love the United just beat City. Matt, mate. Look, Matt. I don't know what your issue is, mate. What do you want me to be? Look, Matt. Exactly. Matt. The monkey's just an absolute fucking moron. But anyway, guys, look, I've got to go. Fantastic show this morning. Look, guys, amazing. Celestine, I hope you're doing extremely well. Like, there's no beef with the team with Eddie Hearn. I'm just playing your handsome. Look, there is no banter is welcome. No problem at all. Absolutely no issue at all. Look, you can, look, banter is welcome here. It's all good, mate. It's all good. Honestly, I agree with you. Every other player but Xerxes brings something different. We don't have the players with the profile. His technical level is high. That's why he's rated in Italy. Look, thank you, guys. Look, guys, look, you're all legends. Look, whether we agree or not agree, we'll have banter on here. This channel is not the same as everyone else's. This channel, like this channel is brilliant because of you guys. You do make this channel amazing. Great, fantastic show this morning, guys. I know today's going to be one of those days where there's going to be lots of debate out there. We're going to see top four. We're going to see positivity, and look, the positivity should be there as well today, but it's going to be interesting to see what comes out. So look, guys, if anything does back, like young Shane, don't forget to give us a like, mate. Give us a like, give us a favorite, subscribe, my friend. Take care, buddy. This is my first time. Look, young Shane, buddy, absolute legend, my friend. Don't forget, give us a like, favorite, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to let you know when we go live again. But look, guys, look, it doesn't matter whether we agree or not. We're all going to have our opinions, but the important thing I think is that we have those opinions and we have a place to voice those opinions with respect. And this channel is all about respect. So look, I will be back. If something does happen today, I will be back. Probably won't be back tonight. I'm not sure. I might be. But look, amazing show. You guys are legends, and I thank you for the support. And I mean this you first after night comment. Don't know what that means, Scott. Yeah. So look, guys, legends of this channel, thank you so much for the support. Of course, I'm JB. This is the United Devil channel, and I will be back hopefully tonight at some point. So look, take care. Have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care.